The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Ardor SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest for you today, all the way from Franklin, Tennessee, Jason Miller. Jason, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. EXP Realtor, I understand. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. I'm actually from Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
My license ain't in Franklin, but I'm in Memphis.
Oh, you are in Memphis. Okay, fantastic. Even bigger. I love Memphis, man. I've been there a couple of times myself. So tell me, Jason, were you growing up wanting to be a realtor? Were you tugging at your dad's pant leg saying, "Hey, Dad, how do I become a realtor?" Or did you fall into it like most of us did?
Didn't grow up in it, but I fell into it. I mean, I saw people being successful in it and asked questions and said, "This is something I want to get into." Took years to figure out how to get into because a lot of people wouldn't, everybody wasn't sharing how to get it back then anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not always the easiest industry to get into. It's a lot easier now, right? There are a lot of avenues
Yeah.
for people, to step in and get good
Yeah.
training, like with EXP, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I know other realtors, man, they're just like, "Hey, if you're not already producing $50 million, we don't want to talk to you." And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, how do you get to that point?
Right.
That's the big question. So who did you find and how did that work, that got you through the door?
Actually, years ago, I was in a class, not a real estate class, a different type of class with a friend, and he said, "Hey, I found this real estate class. I'm going to start taking real estate." I said, "Really?" And had already been curious or intrigued about getting into it. And I said, "Man, where's it at?" And he couldn't even remember. He was kind of vague about it. Said, "Well, I was over somewhere in Cordova and called Success Real Estate School." And so he kind of he had not really even started yet. And so I looked it up and I found it. I found the instructor, and I went ahead and signed up for it. And I told him about it, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting ready to go on a cruise, and I when I get back, I'm going to sign up for it too." So I went ahead and started taking the class, and then and got my license and everything. And then it was a couple years before he finally, once he started seeing me do it, he's asking me a lot of questions, and he got it. But he's the one that told me about it, and then he
Right.
came in later. Yeah,
It's funny how that happens, right? I mean, it's
yeah,
just like always these series of events, and then next thing you know, now I gotta know, how's he
yeah.
doing in real estate?
He's doing okay. He's doing
Y'all
good.
work,
He's still holding on to a full-time job. He's having the struggle of relief of letting go.
yeah,
Um, and that happened to me too. That was when I first started real estate, I was a restaurant manager. And
okay,
I was working 67 hours a week in the restaurants. But I did have freedom to make phone calls, and I had an office with a computer in it. So I was starting to get a few deals here and
nice,
there.
yeah,
And one of the and I was after about 2 years of real estate, the restaurant pulled the franchise of the restaurant I was working in. So I actually lost my job, but
Ooh.
it was the best thing that could have happened to me for my career, because once I focused full time on real estate, I didn't ever look back.
Right. It's funny how blessings like that can happen, right?
Yeah,
You're like, "Oh man, this could be rough," and then the next thing you know, look at all this time I have.
yeah.
We
You need
need
to be
that
able to
time.
focus.
Yeah, we need to be focused. So, are you a solopreneur? Are you on a team, or how does that work now?
I'm solo. I've never been on a team. I tried to learn everything myself and do it. And I have nothing against teams. I think it's a great way for a new agent to get their feet wet and
Yeah,
learn stuff. I'll encourage someone who can't, who doesn't have anything to get their own production, to try a team at first if they can't get
yeah,
things going. But
yeah.
I
Everybody's
learned it.
different.
Yeah, everybody's different. If you don't have the discipline to at least save enough to do some your own marketing or get out there and talk to your sphere, then join a team.
Yeah, right. Join a team and let
Yeah,
somebody lift you up a little bit. Some
right.
folks need that.
Yeah,
So let's talk about, you sound like a guy that puts plans into action, and coming from a management background as well. What's your 1 and 3 and maybe even 5-year plan? I mean, what's your overall plan for your production?
This year I'd be happy if I only did half the production I did last year, but managed my money better. I managed my money. I did really well last year, but I managed my money horribly.
Yeah.
Um,
Welcome to the
but
club.
yeah, that's what we do, right?
That's what we do.
Yeah, but I definitely want to focus on managing my money better, doing more sound investments instead of I gamble. I mean, not just straight gambling at the casino,
Right.
but like make bad investments or high risk investments. And this year I'd like to focus on more sound long-term investments.
There you go. You telling me you're making some investments this weekend, right? 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow, a game Monday night.
You know, that's the kind of investments I was
Right.
making. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I still make those investments. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get off that topic real quick. Let me ask you this: if you say, "Hey Tim, man, everything's working out, but I'm struggling in one area," what would be that one area you might have some struggles in right now? We all have them,
Yeah.
so we all have them. What area would that be?
For me, I'm not organized. I know I'm very fly by the seat of my pants most of the time. I mean, I take the business as it comes. I'm talking to people as they come. I'm more spontaneous.
Yeah.
So I would like to be more organized because
Mm,
I know that there's a lot of value to that, and I see a lot of people. I feel like things fall between the cracks
right.
because I'm not my follow up is not is what it should be. I don't have certain systems in place. All I'm doing is just working. I'm a grinder. I'm a field
Right.
agent and I'm a grinder.
Yeah.
And,
I can sympathize with that. Empathize, sympathize, both. Because I was the same
yeah,
way. I just want to close deals.
yeah,
I started in investments in real estate in 1992, and let me tell you, I'm not sure I've changed a bit. I just had to go find people that could do all those other things, right? Because
yeah,
that's what's going to work for you, Jason. Because folks don't change, right? I mean,
yeah,
I'm in my 50s, so I'm not going to I'm going to change like if I had to change, something. But for the most part, my internal mechanisms aren't going to change, right? If I'm bad at follow up, I better
yeah,
find somebody who could follow up better than me, right? Or I'll
yeah,
always be bad at follow up. Even if you put those alarms on, even if you put those
yeah,
automatics on, you start ignoring those alarms, you start ignoring those automatics. Next thing you know, I got 100 emails I got to follow up on, and I go, oh, I can't do that because I got to go close the deal, right?
yeah,
So that's my best advice to you is just find people. There's a lot of virtual assistants now you can pay next to nothing for that will
yeah,
do all that for you, and it will change your life dramatically. I always say if getting somebody to do that for me that lives overseas and I pay $10 a day for,
yeah,
it's like, okay, there's not a home, and I live in West Palm Beach. There's not
yeah,
a home in West Palm Beach that I couldn't close on that wouldn't cover $300 a month. You know,
yeah. I've been struggling with trying to wrap my head
yeah,
around that and the comfort zone because I've also heard horror stories of transaction coordinators dropping the ball and stuff like
yeah,
that. So it's kind of scary, for me.
yeah. At some point, we all had to give up a
Yeah,
little control, right? I mean,
yeah,
you're probably good at closing, right? You're right. You're real good
yeah.
at that people relationship type stuff.
That's that's
Yeah,
where I'm at.
yeah, that's
Relationships.
your
Yeah,
strong point. So
yeah,
that's where 99% of your time should be spent.
yeah.
That's just an old dude saying that, I mean,
No, it's the truth.
but
And
it's
I've heard you're not the first person that's told me that. I've heard it 1,000
yeah,
times, and I just got to let go and do that. Yeah,
for sure. So let me ask you this then. Let's move on to how you find your sphere. I mean, you got a sphere of influence, of course, you're building it.
yeah.
How are you marketing? Are you boots on the ground guy? Are you door to door? Are you picking up the phone? Are you social media? How are you doing it?
Boots on the ground mostly. I mean, working through the relationships I already have, and that's kind of snowballed out. Started off with just close friends and family. They've introduced me to people who've introduced me to
Right.
people who've introduced me to people. I do some online marketing, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram a little bit. I don't get much off Instagram. Facebook is probably my biggest market, And through that is mostly just built relationships with agents, though. I've gotten a lot of good deals just by having good relationships with other agents, and even in the deals, I'm always cordial. I'm, respectful, and so other agents like working with me. So it helps. It really helps me
Nice.
get deals done, especially when the market months ago, when the market was horrible and you had 40 offers on every house.
Right.
Sometimes my offers would stand out because they know I'd get the job done and I'd work with them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's the garden of good and evil on that. Homes were selling quick, but if you've got a bid and there's 30 other people on it, it's like get in line and you're like, okay, I've done everything I'm supposed to do, like the book says, but at the end of the day, it can be real tough to get a deal on that. So you really do have to stand out, right?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
tell me the benefits, people who are listening who might be looking in the Memphis area. And I'm glad you corrected me on that, because when I go to market this, I didn't want people from Franklin area or Nashville to be contacting me, or
Oh yeah.
contacting.
And that,
So tell me
and I'm
about,
not familiar. I'm not familiar with the Franklin area either, or
right.
Nashville. So
You're like, some reason my license is there, but that's all I know.
yeah.
But tell me about where you're. I mean, I love Memphis. I've got stories about Memphis. I spent some time there, but it's a great area. Tell me about Memphis and the housing market there a little bit.
Well, it's a great rental market. There's a lot of investors from all over that are buying houses to rent, and because there's a lot of industry here, you got Nike, Amazon, you got the Ford plant coming, that's going to be huge. Let's see what else is out there. International paper. There's a lot of industry here. FedEx, and so there's a lot of executives moving down here too to live, to buy a house. So Memphis holds it. It's the cost of living is lower compared to the rest of the country, but it still holds its value. It's not it's not way up there like Nashville or LA or anything like that. But it's but they hold properties hold their value, and they're income generating, the ones that the rentals.
What is the average home price, would you say, in the Memphis area?
Now 260.
Okay.
It's the average.
Definitely affordable compared to some of the bigger cities. Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. People still coming to Graceland?
Yes. They are.
By the
Especially
droves.
now, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Especially
now, 2 days later, right?
Yeah.
Sad. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times myself. One time on a New Year's, we decided to go up on a New Year's and go to Graceland. We went to Graceland, went down, ate some barbecue, hung out, listened to some music. And I had my wife and my kids, and I said, well, let's head home, but let's go home a different way. And I'm forgetting it was New Year's, right? So what I did is I went straight down Highway 55, and we couldn't find a hotel for miles, like a nice place, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I saw these big lights, and you're going to appreciate this story from what we said earlier.
Yeah,
And
I already know where you went.
You already know where I went, right? And
Yeah.
I see all these cars piling in, and I go, sweet, there got to be something over here. New Year's party, because it's New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
I pull in, man, what is it? 4 casinos all in that cul-de-sac. You got the Hollywood Casino.
Yeah.
We ended up staying at the Hollywood Casino.
Horseshoe.
And my kids stayed in the room eating pizza for New Year's, and my wife and I went down and had like a 4-course lobster steak deal. And it was just
nice.
It was fun and nice. And what was funny, I had no idea the place existed.
Wow.
And so
I think that's the third largest casino strip in the country.
Is it? I would believe that, man. I was like, we're in the middle of nowhere, man. Is that in Jackson? Is that in Jackson?
It's Tunica, Mississippi.
Tunica.
Yeah, I'm licensed in Mississippi as well too. I sell a lot of properties in Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is nice,
Yeah.
And I think Caesars owns one of them, or maybe I don't know.
They own.
It's been so long.
I think they own Horseshoe, or they still own Horseshoe. Yeah,
used to be
it used to be Jack Binions.
Binions, yeah. Oh, I know about Binions. I used to hang out in Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Well, how would someone get in touch with you, Jason?
You can call me directly, 901-212-4141, or my email, jasonmillerrealtor@gmail.com.
Okay. So what I always do, Jason, towards the end of the show, I kind of like to give the floor to you. Like I said, you're the hit. I'm just a DJ spinning it. But
Yeah.
give us a good word either about Memphis, yourself, your family. It can be about anything you want, real estate, just whatever's on your mind, your heart, your soul that you want to share with everybody.
All right. I'd say for me, for what's been successful for me, and I feel like it's good for any realtor, is first, I'll always treat everybody right, do right by everybody. Other real estate agents, whether they're new, if they're new, hold their hand, help them out.
Right.
Don't stick your nose up at them because you've been doing it for 10 years or whatever.
Right.
And always remind them how long you've been doing business. Help them out. They're new, they're nervous. Be there for them. Because there's a lot of agents that don't even like new agents. I feel like the new agents are the future of our business, and so
Right.
we should treat them right. Or if someone makes a mistake, don't beat them up about it. Try to just help work through it. Just treat everybody right. And clients realize that anybody has potential of anything, and treat your clients good. Of course, you're gonna have some that just are wasting your time, but some are sincere and they just need your help, and try to be there for them. That's the way I'm trying to help people. Even if I don't make money off of it, I try to help clients, agents, anyone. Try to help as many people as you can. It doesn't hurt, and so that's my whole attitude about it. I try to always be there for people as much as I can.
That's great advice, Jason. Yeah, that's real good advice. People always need a helping hand, no matter what the situation, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jason, thank you so much for being on the program. eXp Realty, Memphis, Tennessee, Jason Miller. Thanks so much, Jason. I look forward to catching up with you over the next 3, 6, 9 months, see how you're doing, and watch you come up in the business. I look forward to it.
I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you. Thanks so much for the interview.
All right, have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.